Kennels are a hot topic in the dog world. Some people view them as prisons for animals. Other people use them as an essential tool. There's truth to both statements. So today, we will be looking at kennels, why they're important to train for, and how to avoid making them into jails. Let's start off with a basic fact that too many people don't know. The kennel is not a storage box for dogs. If the plan is to lock the dog in the kennel for 10 hours while you're at work, hang out with it in the evening, and then lock it away for 8 hours at night, you are storing your dog in a box when not wanted. 18 hours a day in a box is crazy. Don't do this to your dog. If you work, hire a dog walker during the day. Send them to grandma's. At the very least, use an X-pen instead with potty pads on one side, bed on the other, so they have a place to potty, space to move, and space to rest. So, what is a kennel good for? Kennels have a variety of purposes. They can be used by dogs as a personal space where humans are not allowed in. Sometimes, you just need a minute away from kids and poking fingers, you know? By teaching kids to leave the dog alone in its kennel, you create a nice communication for the dog that isn't biting. The kennel also works as an escape from guests, fireworks, thunderstorms, and other scary events. My dogs often go into the kennel in a tiny rage and practically slam the door behind them, especially after a bath. They know I won't go into the kennel after them, so they are pouting in there for the next few hours. If you are potty training, kennels can aid you in the process by giving you a place to put the dog where they won't urinate. Remember that time you stood out in the grass with them for an hour and they didn't go, but you know they have to go? Spending 15 minutes in the kennel and then immediately going outside usually does the trick. It's also great for when you can't watch the dog, but know they will soil the house. 20 minutes in the kennel while you cook hurts nothing, lets you focus on the task, and prevents an accident. Traveling in the car, kennels can save your dog's life in a car accident and prevent accidents from loose dogs helping out with the driving. The number one reason why I recommend kennel training isn't for these reasons though. It's for husbandry. There are times when you actually do have to put your dog in a storage box, such as when they break their leg, need back surgery, or knee surgery. The recommendation for aftercare is often crate rest for several weeks. Not something you want to introduce right when they're sick. When your dog is at the groomer's or has to stay overnight at the vet's, they're going to be in a kennel. If they get lost and have to wait at the Humane Society for you, they're going to be in a kennel. It's better for your pet, even if you plan to never use a kennel at home, that you introduce the concept so it doesn't add to their stress in these situations. There's lots of other reasons you may need to use a kennel. Compulsive eating, crate and rotate for two dogs that don't get along. But you can clearly see from this list that kennel training has value. Now that we've talked about why kennel training is valuable, let's talk about how to do it. We'll get into how kennels fit into potty training in a future video. But for now, let's focus on kennel training itself. First, set up the kennel in a place you tend to hang out in. At night, it can be in your bedroom. During the day, the living room. When you're cooking, the kitchen. The goal is for them to still be a part of a family, even when they are in the kennel, and also to expose them to the kennel even when they're not in it. Make it comfortable. Think bedroom, not jail. Chihuahuas love lots of blankets for burrowing. I like to put a pad in the bottom like this, followed by at least 3 blankets. Chihuahuas are burrowers, so the more blankets the merrier. For potty training, you want a kennel big enough to stand up and turn around in, but no bigger. I've included a link that fits most Chihuahuas in the description to what should be a good fit. My dogs are super seniors and prefer to pile into a kennel together for a group snuggle fest. So I have a kennel big enough to accommodate all of them. I've linked that one as well if you prefer more room. Now that it's cozy and warm, you're going to introduce the kennel to your dog. Even if you have had to kennel the dog there against their will due to potty training, car trips, or vet appointments, pretend your dog has never seen it. Put a delectable treat in the kennel and let your pup decide what to do. If they're more reserved about the kennel, put it to the very front so they just have to snag it without getting in. If they've already wandered in on their own a few times, you can put it all the way to the back. Don't shut them in the kennel the moment their back is turned. That just proves to them they are right about the kennel. Let them get their treat and come out. Make it a game. Can you find all the super snacks in the kennel? When your dog dives in after those treats without a second thought, you can start adding a cue to the behavior. Give your dog a word such as kennel and toss the treat to the back. When they go in, praise them and offer another treat. I usually do this 10 to 15 repetitions a session for at least 3 sessions before testing to see if they have connected the word to the kennel. Test this by saying kennel, but not throwing the treat in. Do they go in? Lavish them with several treats. Do they wait for the treat to be tossed? They probably think tossing the treat is the cue to go in the kennel. You may have to fade the lure by helping them with a hand movement or doing a few more sessions repeating the word. When your dog will go in the kennel at the word, you can make it a little harder. As you are passing the treat, shut the door as far as you can. Remember your hand is still in there feeding the treat. And then open the door at the same time as your hand leaves. They never once were trapped because it was too short of a time, but it lets them get used to the idea of the door being shut in a positive way. Do this 10 to 15 times a session, at least 2 sessions. Next, you're going to give them several small treats scattered inside, and shut the door while they search for the treats. When they are done searching, let them out. After another couple sessions of practicing in this way, you're going to leave them in the kennel for a few minutes. In order to make this a comfortable and rewarding experience for your dog, give them something to do in the kennel. A Kong or other food puzzle works great because to them, it makes sense to be in the kennel. It takes time to eat a Kong, and they may view you locking them in as a security measure to protect this delectable morsel from others. Either way, let them hang out with a Kong for 15 minutes or so and then open the door. If they don't want to leave, that's okay. If another dog is hanging around outside the kennel and the dog clearly doesn't want let out, that's okay too. You don't have to open it if they're clearly not ready. Congratulations! Your dog now knows how to get into the kennel and wait there for a few minutes. This is technically the end of training, but I'd like to give you some advice as far as a common problem with kennel training. Some dogs, even if the door has been shut for a microsecond, begin yelling and screaming and banging on the door. It's possible that your dog will begin yelling and screaming and banging on the door. Communication is very important here. Your dog is very clearly communicating it was too soon to shut the door. In future sessions, you should go back to the previous step where they weren't screaming and go forward half a step. Shut the door halfway, for example, instead of all the way. That's for the future, though. Right now, while the dog is screaming, you need to communicate back. If you open the door, you are saying in dog, yes, having a meltdown in the kennel is exactly what you need to do to get out. You absolutely don't want to do that. Instead, you need to wait for a break in the screaming and crying before opening the door. You could make a noise to distract them into stopping for a moment. They can't scream if they're eating, so you could scatter treats in the back of the kennel. Even if the gap is only just a moment, wait for a gap in the screaming and crying before opening the kennel door. This communicates to the dog that screaming and crying isn't going to get them out of the kennel. This sort of incident requires listening on both sides, so don't neglect their needs after they've told you it's been too long. Kennel training is a process, but it doesn't have to be a hard one. By introducing the kennel gradually, you can get a dog who is happy to rest in there for a little bit while you work on something else.